Damsels in DIY here. Today we're going to show you how to make these fun and whimsical choker necklaces.
Now we're going to show you how to make this particular white one, but you can make it in whatever colors you like. Let's get started. To make a floral choker, you will need a sewing machine, scissors, hand sewing needle for beads, optional hole puncher and eyelet tool and heat knife, a lighter, measuring tape, soft pliers, crochet hook, handmade fabric flowers, check out our tutorial, tightly woven fabric material, cotton or polyester will do, vinyl, today we are using a patterned vinyl, thread, 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch ribbon, optional eyelets and washers, sheer ribbon or some fabric scraps, and crystal beads. Take the measurement of your neck and add 1 inch for a 1/2 inch seam allowance. This will be the long side of your pattern piece. The wide piece of your pattern will be 2 inches tall. Once this rectangular piece is measured out, cut one from the vinyl and one from your woven material. Once you have the pattern shape cut, with right sides together, put your vinyl and tight woven material together. Pin them, take them to the sewing machine, and starting on the upper edge like this, sew a 1/2 inch seam all the way around the piece, stopping about 3 inches from where you started. Trim the threads and then trim the seam allowance to 1/4 inch, but leave the extra material at the hole. Now, take your soft nose pliers and crochet hook and start working the piece until it is entirely right side out. Take your finger and twist the corners until they are properly pushed out. Now sew a seam line 1/8 to 1/4 inch all around the edge of the piece, sewing down the opening as well. Trim your threads. Now, use our flower tutorial to make a fabric flower or buy a pre-made one if you'd like. When doing a white or ivory flower choker, use Mod Podge or another fabric stiffener, watered down to 1/8 and stiffen the flower to keep the edges from fraying. If you don't mind some fraying, no need to follow this step. You can also use a thin polyester material and a heat knife to cut your flower pieces and prevent fraying without stiffener. We have tutorials for all 3 of these linked in the description below. Once your flower is stiff and dry, take your sheer ribbon or fabric scraps and cut a few small pieces at the lengths you want. Singe their ends and sew them to the back of your flower. Now take your flower and line it up where you want it to be on your choker. We wanted ours to be at the side of the neck, so we placed ours about 1/4 of the length from the side. Once you know where you are placing your flower, sew it into place on the machine. Now you can either create buttonholes or grommets for the laces at the back of your choker. We are going to do grommets today, but you can use your machine to do buttonholes if you'd like instead. Each machine is a little different, so consult your manual if you choose buttonholes. To do the grommet method, we are using a hole punch and a grommeting machine. Simply punch a hole for the lace hole, insert the grommet, place the washer over the end, and then flatten it with the grommet machine. Once you have your holes in place, take some of your sheer lace and cut a piece large enough to tie the back of your choker. Singe the ends with the lighter and then lace your choker. Take some of your crystal beads and then sew them to the center of the flower by hand. You can also take some heavy-duty thread and create bead strands that dangle at the front edge of your choker if you want more of a fairy tale glam look. If you do this method, make sure you secure your knots well. Double up your thread and go back through the bead strands to extra secure your dangling beads. And there you have it, an easy way to make a lovely choker that you can use for bridal looks, any kind of formal wear, fairy stuff. It doesn't really matter, you can make it any color you want to match any outfit.
This week, like every other week, we're doing our bead bag giveaway, which is 10 different varieties of beads, and all you have to do for a chance to win one of these bags of beads is leave a comment down below.
Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.